what would you advise to maybe someone who is struggling to get into self-love and self-care?
Understanding that love is a action and not a feeling. You don't have to feel love to show yourself love. The first time I even knew there was a problem with my body was when the person I was dating, they saw someone and they were like, I don't know what would be really like. It looks like that. And then I realized it was affecting me, because after that I was like, why are you doing that? So the first thing that was affecting me is my romantic relationships were not doing anything for me. Needed to leave those ones.
Hey guys, and welcome back to A Letter to My Younger Self, a podcast that features the past and the present by having our guests write a letter to their younger selves. Today's guest is Miss Temina Semo. Temina is a digital content creator. She creates content on lifestyle, self-love, and self-care. She's also a lawyer, and online I've seen her advocate for human rights as well as having content creators get better contracts. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here. How is it like reminiscing about young Temina and writing a letter to her?
I think thinking about my younger self is my favorite thing to do, because if you think I'm delusional now, like I don't think, whenever I think of my younger self, I'm like, what was I? What was I on?
Yeah.
The delusion and the self-belief was crazy. So it's always nice to think about my younger self, because I feel like she's more inspiring than who I am now. So I like to think back to my younger self. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So before we get into the questions that I have, I'll have you read the letter for us, and then we can get into it.
Dear younger me, I hope this letter finds you full of laughter and curiosity, just as I remember you being. I want to take you back to those days when the world seemed like an endless playground of possibilities, and you were the fearless explorer, ready to conquer it all. Oh, how I envy your unwavering confidence and unshakable belief in yourself. You saw the world through eyes untainted by fear or doubt. Every dream you dared to dream, every goal you set your sights on felt within reach. There was no room for scarcity mentality or second guessing. Your heart was overflowing with abundance, and you embraced it with open arms. As I look back on those cherished memories, I realize how much I've learned from you, my younger self. You remind me that I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. I want you to know how deeply grateful I am for the gift of your fearless optimism and unwavering belief in the power of dreams. Thank you, my dear younger self, for showing me what it means to truly believe in myself and the limitless potential that lies within. I promise to carry your spirit with me always, with all my love and gratitude, your older self.
So let's start from your childhood, yeah? The Temina you were writing to, you said it's between 7 and 12 years old, yeah? And you say that she was that girl, basically the it girl, very confident, singing and performing in front of people. Where do you think young Temina got this confidence from?
I wonder, because every time I'm thinking back, I'm like, I became so shy later, like in high school. So I was thinking back and I was like, where did it come from? But I think it's because I used to watch a lot of movies. So I was one of those people who used to watch movies and say the script word for word, which is very annoying for the people who live with you. But yeah, I used to watch movies, and movies always had like that plot where it's like the person doesn't believe in themselves, and then it ends up being that they believe in themselves and then their dreams come true. So I think I picked it up from there. So for me, TV, movies was a very positive influence. But also I think I don't know, there was something. It's like everything seemed so possible and nothing seemed impossible at all.
Yeah, so the typical Disney tricks that used to be there. And it's quite shocking that you're like, even right now, you're saying you're shocked that younger you was as confident as she was. Because like when I watch your content, it's still giving confident. It's giving a confident girl. Do you think that maybe sometimes right now you maybe doubt yourself or second guess yourself compared to like when you were younger?
Yeah, so that's the biggest difference. Because okay, the confidence wavered in high school, but then I brought it back, my boss. So now it's just like those days when I used to think of something, it was just, I think of it and it's like, yeah, let's do it. Now it's like, now it's just the capitalism. Do we have enough money? Is it going to work? What if? All those what ifs now start coming in. So I think it's like a bit of anxiety. Yeah, so that's what, that's the biggest difference. There's a lot more self-doubt, second guessing, and it's like, just do it.
Yeah. But then when you look at, for most people, because I don't think this is, like an isolated, unique event, a lot of the times you find that in childhood, people are outspoken, they're confident, and then as you get older, it slowly diminishes. What do you think happens in between?
Trauma. That's what happens. Maybe you go and sing and then somebody tells you, you're not as good as you think. Then you're like, hey, okay, maybe I'm not as good as or I think it's trauma. It's people's words, people's opinions, but it's also like the world when you're so confident in something and then it fails. And so it's like, hey, kumbe, things can actually fail. So I think it's a lot of trauma, people's words, opinions, and even just like the reality of it all. Yeah, because sometimes your delusions don't delude in
Yeah. And like when you were younger, you got rewarded, in the like dancing competitions. Actually, I think it's funny that you said you were rewarded with like soap dish. At least us were given biscuits.
Yeah, I still have that soap. When I remember doing this the other day with my mom, because someone on TikTok was like, how I used to dance to get a soap dish. And soap dish.
Those people need to be fired. It's prosecuted. My God,
long life gift. I still use the dish. It's still there to me.
Yeah. So like it's a good thing that you were rewarded and even your parents were rewarded at times, because it's not always the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find kids who, they're confident and they're being told, oh, they're too much or their shine is being dulled. Were there ever any instances where this happened to you, and how did you react to it, you or your parents?
My parents, they were just, honestly, they're always been and still are just chilling. It's like, anyway, this one, we know what she does. She's just loud. So it was never from my parents. My parents are very much like, you do you. Also, my dad is loud, so I think it's a mixture of the two. Yeah. But then it was maybe from other, because since I used to like being in the public eye a lot, like singing. There was a time, I think I was singing, and there was a rival school. So there were two schools and I was singing for the other school. So when we were done, obviously they were booing everyone from the rival school. But now I took the booing pass. I said, booing? I'll never sing. I'll never sing this town again. Yeah. So after that, I never sang again. I said, let me concentrate on studying. But yeah, so it was like small things like that where it's like, it's other people. So I noticed it was mainly like people outside me that would dull the shine, but in my own little bubble at home, it was always like allowed to thrive and shine. Yeah.
And how do you deal with it now as an adult? Like if someone tells you, oh, you're doing too much, or you're too much, as compared to, little Temina was like, I'm never singing again.
Now I cope better because I feel like, it's not what people's opinion. Like, so that's your opinion. That's your reality. So, because I'm a big believer in your thoughts create your reality, not their thoughts create your reality. So if you think I'm not this or I'm not that, sorry, that's now your reality. But in my reality, if I think this and think that, I think that starts to become my reality. So at these days, I don't really concentrate on people's opinions, because you also start to realize it's a lot of projection from their own insecurity.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to do with me. For real. Yeah. So I just don't look at it as anything to do with me. I look at it more like something to do with themselves. Yeah.
And you come from like a really close-knit family, and I see you doing content with them a lot. Do you think your relationship like with your family and how close you guys are had anything to do with how confident like you are?
Yeah, definitely. I think so, because I feel like so my dad is like outwardly very confident. My mom is confident, but like low key. And then my sister is also very confident but low key. So I feel like there's like an influence of everybody's personality on me, but positively. But yeah, I do think the family being so close knit is because you don't feel out of place when you're being yourself. In fact, at home is when everybody is really, our house is loud. It's so loud, yeah. So you feel very confident being yourself. Maybe now you take precaution around other people, but like at home, you really become yourself. Because even both my parents follow me, and so it's like they see everything and they're like, okay.
But like it can't only be attributed to like, your close family members and people who you see every day. The outside people have something to do with it as well. Yeah, they play some sort of role.
Yeah, they do.
In what way would you say?
I feel like for the longest time, or I think a lot of people are scared to, when you look at even like the social media community, they're scared to create content because they don't feel like there's a tribe or like there's people who will relate, or if there's people who relate, it's like a very small group. So for me, I think especially my social media like community has really also helped like with the confidence and even just being comfortable being myself, because most times when I'm myself, I find that a lot more people are relating to what I'm saying. So I feel like sometimes you fear to be yourself, but you find like the more you're yourself, the more people are like, yeah, I relate to that. So hiding yourself is like, you won't get to tap into the people who are actually like you, because maybe you're pretending to be somebody else. So being authentically you, you'll connect to like an audience with the same. And so my audience has really helped me, because sometimes they share their stories or they'll tell me like this and this worked and this didn't work. So we exchange a lot of notes on things. But yeah, then really helped in terms of confidence, even just supporting the content. And I think they do really play a big role, because I feel like if you have a more toxic social media community, you might end up feeling like social media is a very dark place to exist.
Yeah. And how do you go about building healthy relationships, online and even just like friendships and maybe even romantic relationships, healthy relationships that will just prevent, your space having bad vibes and, just people pouring in positivity into you.
I don't know how. Honestly, I feel like attracts like most times. So for me, okay, the first thing I do when I see anything a bit, I just block. I don't have the energy. Because why are you existing to bring negativity? So for me, the first thing I do if I see any negativity, I just block. I really like that too. Other than that, it's like, what else I'll do is, honestly, I feel like it's just being authentically who you are, then that brings now the same energy. Because if you're pouring out positivity, most likely you're going to get positivity back. Yeah, so I've been making it conscious effort to pour out a lot of positivity, lots of affirmations, lots of just sharing when things are maybe hard, or sharing when things are good, sharing what I've learned man to man. So it's like pouring out positivity, but also trying to be as authentic as possible. I think that applies both even in friendships and romantic relationships. But for those two, I would say the death of ego is important, because sometimes when somebody is telling you something that you did that hurt them, or something that you did that didn't rub them the right way, sometimes it goes straight to your ego, but it's not anything about whether you're a bad person or a good person. They're just telling you that this what you did hurt them. So I feel like you need an ego there to build healthy relationships and friendships, because it's not about you.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about scarcity mentality, which is a huge no-no in your book. How would you define scarcity mentality?
It's a good question. I feel like scarcity mentality is when you always feel like, the first one is you feel like there's never enough to go around. It's like you're always trying to compete. It's like, if this one gets this deal, then what happens to me? Or so it's like the person feeling like there's never enough to go around for everybody. And then the second one, I feel like, is also just feeling like nothing is, it's like something will always, how do I put this? Like you will never have something that's enough. So you will have, let's say, maybe money, but then you're scared it will always run out and you never get another check. So I feel like that's scarcity mentality. So if you maybe got paid this month, you don't want to see that money moving even by one shit because you're like, hey, when will the next one come? Right? Maybe even you know where the next one will come, but you're still panicking because you're like, where will the next one come? Where will the next? Yeah. So I think that's the second one. Always thinking there's no next check, there's no next job, there's no next opportunity. So you really hold on or So I think that's the second one. Especially those two. Yeah, because it's the opposite of abundance. Because abundance, you always think there's more coming. There's enough for everyone to go around. There's enough opportunity. There are enough brands. There are enough brand deals. There'll always be a job. Yes, I think that's what.
And how do you manage to live like in abundance, even when you know things are not looking very good? Things might be looking scarce. So how do you keep the positivity and live in abundance?
That's such a hard one. Because when things are scarce, I probably things are. My first rule is to stay in the house. Because you start. No, you start delivering and yes, that's when you start feeling the scarcity. Someone will say something like, "Oh, let's buy this meal. Hey, you can buy it. Can you afford this plus your Uber? Really?
Yeah.
And oh, let's go for a concert. You go." Now, my first rule is always when it's scarce, stay at home. Just meditate, watch movies. Buy noodles. Yeah. That's what I usually do. I noticed you really feel the scarcity when you go outside. And then the second one has always been like honesty. Like I feel like scarcity really hits. Like let's say when sometimes it's like a birthday party. No birthday parties in Nairobi. I don't know going on there. But it's so much money. Yeah. When you leave there, you have to buy a gift and then you have to like buy an outfit because there's a theme. And then you have to do, So I feel like honesty comes in because sometimes you really just have to tell your friend, I can't come. Yeah. So, because I feel like honestly, scarcity when you're outside.
It's like that meme for you can be fighting for your life financially. And then someone is fighting for their back. Restaurant, you get food, you get like an outfit,
floral. I didn't have any. I'm at some weird color like peach. Yeah, I have to buy peach. Yeah, so I feel like stay in the house and just think, wow, when you stay in the house, you can really tell yourself there's enough to go around and you have enough. When you go outside, that's when you start in the scarcity. Yeah.
And you're really into like self-love and self-care, not only even like for yourself, but also creating content for people to consume.
Yeah.
Why is this important for you?
I think, okay, so for me, after high school, I really realized I was deep in self-hate and I was like, why?
What happened in high school?
It's the system. I remember because I feel like what they do, I don't know, in high school, I feel like, especially Kenyan high schools, the system is very anti-women or girls. I don't know. It's mainly built for, it's like whenever you do something for yourself, or maybe you do skincare or you do something to your hair that's cute, the teachers will tell you, why are you doing this for the boys? It was for me. I don't know. It's always very centered on anything you do for yourself is because you want to attract
for the male gaze.
You're just trying to attract men. And I was like, hey, let's change the narrative a little bit. Like, you can do things just for yourself. Because I realized with that, even in my mind, I started saying, maybe we are actually, they were brainwashing me. So when I came out, I was like, let's undo all this brainwash. So I was like, let's start doing self-care habits for yourself. And then I realized when I started doing self-care just for myself, it was really cultivating like, wow, it was really healing my inner child, but also just like I'm doing so many things for myself that you just start loving yourself more, like the way you would do things for a romantic partner or like for a friend. Just things to make your life easier. Like even if I was going out, I would put all my skincare on my bedside and then I would put my essential oil in my humidifier. So that when I come, just like a spa, and then I sleep. And you see, those are just small things that are so cute to do for yourself. So being cute to yourself is what inspired it, because you feel so nice, and also you find that you don't need a lot of outside validation, or you don't need people doing things for you to feel worthy. Yeah, because sometimes you're sitting and waiting, I want to buy you flowers, and you can go buy some flowers for yourself.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense, because I mean, if we like these things when other people do it for us, like you'll also like it when you are doing it well.
Exactly.
And how would you say you really, tap into the self-love and the self-care? Are there any routines or habits that you build? Like, what would you advise to maybe someone who is struggling to get into self-love and self-care?
Okay, so for me, I started with, because I feel like the reason you're not self-caring is also because self-love is low. Yeah, and the reason you want to do all the cute things for somebody else is because you really love them. So the reason maybe you're not thinking of doing them for yourself is because the self-love is quite low. Yeah, so the first thing I did, this is like step one, is understanding that love is a action and not a feeling. So you don't always have to wake up feeling like you love yourself, because some days you wake up, maybe you feel like you failed, maybe you feel like you didn't do enough, or you're not feeling pretty or beautiful. You don't have to feel love to show yourself love. So that's my first, that was ultimate cheat code. Yeah, so because it's like, if I wake up and I don't feel pretty today, or I don't feel lovable today, I'll still do something to make me feel worthy or lovable. Yeah, so it's like, even if I'm not feeling pretty, maybe I'll still do my hair and do my makeup that day. Doesn't mean that I'm really liking myself that day. It's just like a little thing I'm doing for myself to show myself that even when I'm not feeling like I love myself, I can still show myself love. Yeah, so doing love as an action other than a feeling, because I feel like sometimes the first step when people are feeling stuck is they're like, I don't love myself, I don't feel that for myself. So how do I then show myself love? And you still can. And now the days when you're really feeling love for yourself, now you'll find like the actions are just flowing naturally. But that's my first ultimate like cheat code. And then after that, I feel like after that it flows when you let yourself know that you can still do things for yourself even when you're not feeling them. You develop like a little routine. Like for me, I have a morning routine and I have a night routine. I was telling you that's why I have time blindness.
Yeah,
you can't take my mornings or my nights away from me. I'll reach, I play my music, and you can do anything that makes you feel. Doesn't even have to be a set same routine every day, because some people don't like set routines. You could do anything that feels good, but you could start with maybe skincare. Do you like listening to music? Are you a person who likes maybe praying or meditating? Are you more spiritual? So you choose according to what you like. I'm actually reading a book that was like, yeah, that's something you have to get to know yourself, because now you know what you like. Because I remember there was someone I was asking, so what do you enjoy doing? And they were like, going out. So I think that's when you realize you don't even date yourself enough to know what you even like. But when you date someone, you really know what they like, you know what they don't like, you know, even if they have this meal, they're allergic to it, but you don't know anything about what you like, what you enjoy, what you would actually want to do. Yeah. So I feel like sitting down with yourself and just finding out what you enjoy, then you can now build a routine around it.
So that's nice. And you say that the journey has not always been smooth. There have been challenges along the way. So what are some of those challenges and how have they built the person you are today?
First challenge was just Nairobi. First of all, the people in Nairobi need to really go for therapy. The first time I even knew there was a problem, and I'm putting problem in quotes, is because I never knew with my body was when the person I was dating was like, well, okay. And then they saw someone and then they were like, I don't know what when is really nice. She looks like that. I saw her. What? I was like, I said, hey, wait a minute. Something that you just said. But I was mad. And then I went home and then I realized it was affecting me, because after that I was like, why are you doing that?
It's something that you want.
You don't want. Yeah, but this person said. Yeah, so the first thing that was affecting me is Nairobi, because the people I was with, I don't know what was going on either.
I
don't know what was going on, but hey, they were really freely making comments. So I think, yeah, the first challenge was definitely like breaking away from, because now why are you commenting? Like, yeah, it's a projection of something, definitely. So it was past, that was the first one. My romantic relationships were not doing anything for me, needed to those ones first. This was the biggest challenge. But then even the second challenge was, the reason that comment is affecting me is because even me, I don't have like positive body image. The first thing I struggled with a lot was body image for a long time. Hey, she saw me in high school. I know that people who saw me in high school. Not like, because I used to wear the longest skirt. You know how people in high school shorten? I got the longest. Yes. And I used to wear like a really huge, I got like the extra large jumper. I even found a way, if it's hot, to just tie it so that it's hanging. Oh, yeah, it had to be there. I even had to get two, because of like when I wash one, the other had another one. Yeah, so it was always, I used to cover my entire, because I was like, I don't want anyone to see anything, so that you start in your comments. But then I realized it's not been people's comments that are affecting me, it's just my own body image. So that's what I was working on. That was the first challenge. That was really hard. Yeah, it's easy. That's what was really hard. There were some other things, but I feel like body image was like the biggest challenge. And also just feeling unlovable when maybe sometimes you don't achieve what you had set out to achieve, because I was equating productivity to being worthy or lovable. So if I don't hit my targets, then to deserve anything. Yeah. So that's what that was my second challenge, equating productivity to being lovable or worthy of anything. Yeah.
Even when you're speaking, I'm like, it's crazy how like times change, because right now Temina is body goals. Like when you go underneath all your posts, that's like the number one comment that is there. Like,
because I didn't know. I was like, if I think it is, then yeah. So I never used to like. Then when I saw it, this I was like, hi, yeah, how the tables have
truly, really. And you say that sometimes, like maybe when you're feeling low right now as an adult, you tap into younger Temina. So how does tapping into younger Temina look like, and how does it help you?
Hey, it's gonna make me sound crazy. So now I tap into younger Temina sometimes when I'm just meditating, because I feel like it's not, when I'm tapping into younger Temina, it's not a person, it's more of a energy. And that energy was, when I tell you, it was crazy, because I remember there's a day I think I was like 14, and I remember saying, let me start an Instagram account that I can be early. And then it didn't make sense at the time. I was like, early for what? And now I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, early for this. So I've understood. But yeah, so it's like the energy used to be just full of, I really thought I could do anything. Like, remember, my parents had to stop me, because that time I thought I could be a belly dancer, and I was serious. Yeah, I thought I could do anything, and I thought everything was within reach, and my energy was very much like, even the teachers knew, like, if I wanted something, I would do it, and even if I didn't want something, I would say it. So it was very abundant, there was a very big belief in myself. So when I'm meditating, I just tap into that like abundance of remembering how I used to feel when I was dreaming. So it's like, yeah, since we've been rich, because the older Temina, it's too anxious. So we need to tap into the one where she's been, yeah, like even if you have 100 shillings, you can't do it. Yeah, how by like next week, the next check comes. Yeah.
So you have this video that is pinned on your TikTok page. It's like a compilation of your older YouTube videos from like the beginning, saying, hey, this is Temina, welcome, and everything like that. And in the caption, it says, you really thought you were making revolutionary content. And shout out to younger Temina for being the lead. But the Lulu worked, didn't it?
Because I really thought those videos were fire. I used to edit them, and I was like, wow, when I drop this one,
yeah,
hey, you wouldn't believe it. Well, when I was watching them, I was like, so what? I thought, well, And at least it was.
It was it got you to that way you are.
Funny. If you gotta watch the actual videos,
Yeah.
I used to say something like fire, and I'd be like, fire me. And then I say something. It was so funny. And then they used to come at the wrong time. Like I'll already finished fire,
And then I'll do it.
fire comes. Yeah, it was so bad. But anyway, the Lulu worked. Because I didn't even know what the goal was.
Mm-hmm.
I was just doing. That's what I'm saying. It was only like, I start posting. But why are we posting really?
Do you know, it's so crazy to hear this from another person because it's what I always think. Like when I started doing YouTube, fine, I'm posting this video. In the beginning, you're not even getting paid a cent yet. And even when you're getting paid, it's peanuts.
Yeah.
So, but I used to come from uni. I go home. This is that I've spent my entire Saturday. People are outside. People are having fun. Saturday, Sunday, I'm edited, and I'm just so excited. I'm happy. I'm like, and you don't even know where it's going to lead, and then suddenly things start to make sense.
You're not even doing it to lead to.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You're just doing it. It's just fun. Because even me, whenever Saturday it's time to film,
yeah.
I edit. I was not even outside. Like,
And it's crazy. Like, to think of people your age were outside having fun, and us we were there talking to a camera.
yeah, that used to be like, hi guys. So then I go, hi. Every Saturday, every weekend used to be so fun. That's what I'm saying. Now seeing what it has turned into its screen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It could have been something, but at that time it was just, yeah, it was just, because me, if you watch my videos, I was confused. I thought I was a comedian. So I used to make skins. Now, I don't even know what was happening there. And then I wanted to sing. And then I just went into now like lifestyle content.
And when you think about younger Temina and her definition of success, would she think you're now successful? And are there some dreams or goals that she maybe had for herself that you've seen come to be?
Oh, like most of it. Honestly, every time something happens, I'm like, maybe this one. If she knew, she would have gone crazy. But yeah, the definition I think of success at the time was just like, if anything, we can see it in our mind and it actually happens. That was like the definition of success. So it's like little things like, not little anymore, like being flown out for a brand trip. Like, where are you going? To know what? And even what I was doing on this brand trip was so clean because I was acting. I don't act.
And are you saying how you were doing the skits look now?
Yeah, I was like, okay, maybe it was too bad. Because they sent I thought we were going to just look cute with the products, but they sent us screens and I was panicking because I was like, I don't act. I don't know how to act. But then, so when we went on set, it was like, I took the longest. So I left feeling like, where? They took the longest because me, I needed time. Cool. But when the ad was actually edited, I realized because I was the main, they had decided after like the first few like scenes I did, they were like, she's going to be the main one for this one. And then even after that, I kept saying, even when I left South Africa, I was like, hey, this ad, I need to come out. So I thought it was so bad. And then it comes out well. We'll see. And then they even called me and they were like, so we'd like your voice to be the by Ghani naturally. Yeah, so they were like, so we'd like you to re-record. So I even had to go to the studio again in Kenya to record like the endings. I was like, really? Because I've always used to my voice. I'm like, hey, truly, that's what I'm saying. The things that you see in your head that are becoming real is like the whole, and even just content being a job is also just crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's the best. That's the part she'd have been like, that's actually wild.
Yeah. And I have to say that I came across the ad, I think yesterday evening, and it came out so well.
Oh shit.
It came out really well.
I was so nervous. I was like, I was speaking like that the way I was shaky.
And would you say like the confidence that young Temina had, did it play any role when it came to you being a lawyer and a content creator?
Yeah, so it did. Okay, maybe a bit. Maybe that was on the Temina taking over because when I finished high school, I wanted to do film, and that's definitely something up younger Temina's early like film. But then my parents are like, film? Where do you think, whose money will you be eating? Yeah, because it will be ours. So they were like, you have to do something a bit more serious. So now all that, I mean, now I was really into human rights and mainly women's rights. I think this is something I picked up as I was saying in high school when I was seeing how the system, I was just like, hi, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. And that's when I started reading about like feminism and like now as community centered about like on equality. So I used to read about that a lot in high school. So I'd say the creative side is definitely all attributed to younger Temina.
Yeah.
Now the more law human rights side was more me after observing the environment I was in, even just in high school and then even leaving high school, because now I was really into human rights from first year, second year. So I was really interacting with women who had undergone STMB and such. And so I was really like, we have to do this, something we have to do. And yeah, so for a lot of like first year, second year, I was doing feminist workshops, I was doing like online complaints for STPB and such. So yeah, and then we switched about, when I was finishing is when I was like, okay, but human rights could be a bit traumatizing. So that's when I also leaned heavily into wellness, because I feel like if you're doing human rights and interacting with a lot of these traumatizing events and stories, you need some wellness there. So,
And you end your letter saying that you don't really have any advice to give your younger self. If anything, she only should be advising you. So if you can picture her looking, up at you right now, what advice do you think she'd give you?
She just tell me like, please wake up, because my self-image of myself now is so much smaller compared to how it was then. So I think the first thing she told me is just to wake up and to remember who I am. So I think that's the first thing that should be. And then the second one would definitely be to believe in myself more, because I think even should be like, at that time, I was believing in you with no evidence. None is evidence. So what's the problem? And that's the funny thing about life. It's like, when there's no evidence, you're there saying, there can be something. And now when there's evidence, you're like, I'm not sure. Which is so weird, because you'd think it's the opposite. Yes, I think she told me I was believing in you. I was believing in you with no evidence, and now there's evidence, so you better act accordingly. Yeah, I think those two mainly the pieces of advice she gives me. Yeah.
Is there anything coming up that you're looking forward to, excited for?
I think I was mainly looking forward to the ad drop in at least that. Least. But other than that, I think I have an exciting project coming up with an NGO I'm working with, which is a bit different because it's less centered on content and more centered on like community work, which is something I've been wanting to get into, more centered on women's rights. Other than that, the rest of the projects are pretty just like fun, girly thing. Yes. And also I have a side project, because I had launched cards before on, it was like a card deck for self-love, but I'm relaunching that in a bit of a different way. I want to launch it like around my birthday, so November, because I'm a Scorpio. So I want to relaunch my self-love cards. Instead of being one pack that has affirmations, questions, and implementations, I want them to be different. So a different card for affirmation, different one for questions, and a different one for implementation. So yeah,
definitely looking forward to see that. And before I let you go, you wrote a letter to younger Temina. So now we normally do a sort of digital time capsule sort of thing. So now I need you to think about older Temina, let's say 10 years from now, and we're going to give her a message. So you can think about it, and then when you're ready, you're closer.
Dear older Temina, I think you'd be like 34 if it's 10 years from now. First thing I want to say is I hope you moved to the beach at least for a year, and just one island girl for real for a year, because you don't like to make permanent decisions, but I hope you did that. But other than that, I really hope over and above everything that you're happy, and that you know that every decision that you made was exactly the decision that you had to make, and that there was no wrong decision. It was just a decision to point you to where you are supposed to go. And I hope you will believe in yourself more. And I hope you're that girl right now and you're living your absolute dream life and delusional life. Yeah, and over and above that, I just hope you're also content, because sometimes you tend not to be content and always look at what's next and what's happening. So I hope you found some sort of peace and some sort of just content with what you decided and the decisions that you make. Because the decisions you're living right now are the decisions I have to make. So hope they're the right decisions. Yeah.
That's awesome. So perhaps in like 10 years' time, I can be like, Temina, I have a message from you. So thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a lovely conversation. Yeah, it was. And for you guys at home, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.